All projects need to start with a setup. Select the Setup icon from the Setup toolbar. Setup is where you tell Fusion what type of manufacturing process you'll be using. Select your machine, define which Fusion models are parts, which Fusion models are fixtures, and set your stock size and your zero position. Let's start with the Setup tab. The Machine Group area in this dialog is for selecting a machine. If you or someone else has created a milling machine already, you can press Select and pick it from the local folder. If not, we can leave it set to the sample 3-axis machine in this sample project. Or you can leave it blank. Selecting a machine automatically sets the setup operation type. If it's not already, set the operation type to milling. In the Work Coordinate System group, we can define the orientation. We do this to select the face of the part we plan on machining. In some cases, the model orientation may already reflect the machining face. If it doesn't, we can use the orientation pull-down to define the parameters for setting the machining plane. The orientation should always put X and Y on the surface to be machined, and Z should always point away from that face. For this part, the model orientation matches the face we plan to machine. Next, we need to set the origin. The origin is the XYZ zero position on the part. We can set it in relation to a corner or a midpoint of a theoretical block that fits around the part. With the origin set to stock box point, select box point, pick the upper left corner of the block. This is where the raw block will be located in the machine vise. Model is used to select the object that will be evaluated for machining. Since there is only one model in this project, Fusion selects it automatically. A project may contain additional models that represent the fixture components. In that case, you could enable the fixture group and select those additional fixture models. Select the Stock tab, where we will define the raw material. If you mouse over the mode pull-down, you can see from the tooltip the kind of options you have for defining the stock size and shape. Most times, for rectangular parts, we will use the relative size box option. Using the stock offset mode, we can add stock around the raw block up to a standard size block of material. I want to have at least 40 thousandths of stock around the model in X and Y, and at least 40,000 stock on the top. So we can leave the stock side and stock top offsets both set to 40 thousandths. We are going to need some stock on the bottom so we can grip it in the vise. Set the stock bottom offset to 200 thousandths. Later, when we machine the bottom of this block, we can machine off that excess stock. In the dimension area below, we can see that Fusion has calculated the size of our stock. But it's an odd size. You can't buy a block that is 0.865 thick. So we are going to set the round up to nearest value to 0.250. Now we'll have a more logical size blank at 4.25 by 1.75 by 1 inch. Now let's go to the Post-Process tab. Here we can define the program name or program number. We have a program number that is set to 1001. That's the O number that is normally displayed at the beginning of the NC program. This is common for Haas and Fanuc type controls. We can leave this set to 1001, and when we machine the bottom of the part, we can set that to 1002. For the program comment, I could add a comment about this part or the setup. This comment will be displayed at the start of the NC program. Let's type in top setup 1. WCS offset is the Work Coordinate System offset that will be output in the NC code. So where this is set to 0, that will output the first available fixture offset. The number 1 will also output the first available fixture offset. So if you have a FNUC or Haas type control, you would get a G54. If I set this to a 2, I would get a G55, and so on, incrementing it up. Since we're doing the top and the bottom of this part, let's set our first setup to 1. Once that's defined, we can press OK. So, we have told Fusion we are going to be doing milling. We defined our raw stock size, set our machining plane, set our XYZ0 location, program number, added a comment, and defined our WCS fixture offset. We are ready to start machining the part with our first toolpath.